What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back for another episode of the 5 takeaways, where we're going to take a look at the 1-0 win at the Amex against Brighton yesterday and see what 5 things we can take away from the game. And let's start off with number 1, and that is improving Son.
Yeah, and he got another goal contribution through the door yesterday. Heung-min Son with an assist, and I thought it was another improving display. Maybe went under the radar, but he looked a lot sharper than he has done maybe before the Leicester hat-trick. Now, that was very positive. He got four dribbles, more than anyone on the pitch, 3 key passes, had 1 shot on target, and obviously he did assist the winner. So a much improved display from Sonny for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was like an improved display, but it's still not the complete Sonny that we know and love that we saw last season. I still call on him to improve, which he will do. I have no qualms about that. I felt like there were a couple of times yesterday where he just held on to the ball for a bit too long to make his decision. But all in all, when you take the whole game into account, I think it was a good performance and definitely a step in the right direction. So big up Sonny, and hopefully he can get a couple of goals in the Champions League this week. But let's move on and let's talk about number 2, and that is home run ended.
Yeah, and that was Brighton, and their home run stretched all the way back to March when they played us, 16th of March. We beat them 2-0, and they have been unbeaten at home ever since that game. And Spurs are the ones that have come to the Amex and ended their run. So you have to say it's not an easy place to go, Brighton. It goes under the radar how difficult it is to go there and win. And under the circumstance we did go in there and win as well was very, very impressive. So ending a 7-month home unbeaten run is very, very good going.
Yeah, it's impressive. Like you say, to go there under those circumstances with a team that in that form as well. 7 months in coming. The last team that beat them there as well was Tottenham. So I'm very happy with the win yesterday under those circumstances. So let's just kick on from here and let's keep it going, because I think like so far this season we all know that we haven't put in the best displays, but results are coming. So let's just keep the results up, and I'm sure the performances will come as well. So that's number 2. Moving on to number 3, and that is back-to-back.
And that is our clean sheets. And this is our first time we've gone back-to-back away from home clean sheets since April last season, when we drew away at Brentford 0-0 and we beat Aston Villa 4-0 back in mid-April last season. So our away defensive displays haven't been the best this season, but they are starting to show signs of improvement. I think the last 2 against Frankfurt and Brighton have definitely been positive. We're giving up less clear-cut chances. And I think defensively we're looking more solid than we were maybe earlier in the season. So very, very positive there.
Yeah, and I think it's down to as well Romero looking more like himself the last couple of games. But our next away game is at Old Trafford, so another hard away game coming up very soon. So let's see how we face the task at Old Trafford. But if you want to compare it to last year's game at Old Trafford, we played really well. We just got undone by Cristiano Ronaldo being absolutely sublime that day. But you know, if any other striker is up there for them, we'd probably go and win that game. But let's go and beat them at Old Trafford in a couple of weeks. So I think that will definitely put a few thoughts into people's minds about where Spurs can go this season. So definitely positive in the last 2 away games, but let's just keep it going. In terms of number 4, we're going to talk about positive Doherty.
Yeah, and it was his first start since beating that game in Aston Villa last season back in April. And I thought it was a positive one, despite maybe not seeing the best of him going forward, as we know that's where Doherty's strengths lie. I think overall defensively he had a solid display, and he did have a couple of moments where he was getting forward and nearly scored. And I think in terms of his stats, he made 3 interceptions, made 1 tackle, won 2 of his 4 aerial duels, and he won 2 out of 2 ground duels as well. So definitely positive and a step in the right direction from Doherty, who hasn't been at his sharpest so far this season, but definitely steps that maybe he can be making a return more regularly in the starting 11.
Yeah, and that 1 tackle that you mentioned was that tackle right at the end. That was really a match-saving tackle. If he doesn't make that, then I thought Brighton were going to score. But, you know, I was very happy with Matt Doherty yesterday. And not only did he put in a competent display after not playing too much this season, but he's been out since March with a really bad injury. So you've got to give him credit to coming in under those circumstances and putting in a performance like that, plus that challenge at the end, which really put gloss on his performance. So big up to Matt Doherty. And let's move on to number 5, and that is fitting tribute.
Yeah, and obviously this game marks the first game we've had since the passing of Gianpiero Ventroni, who was our fitness coach and longtime friend of Antonio Conte. And I thought not only was it was really brilliant, the fans tribute to him with the Italian flags and the minute applause before the game, but I think the performance and getting 3 points and our dogged style and the way we dug deep to get all 3 points was a really fitting tribute to him. And I think the emotion was pouring out after the game from the management staff and from the players, and you saw how much it meant to them. And I thought overall yesterday was a fitting tribute to him, and hopefully he would have been proud of that performance.
Yeah, and I'm sure he would have been. I'm sure he would have been. All the players held him in very high regard. You saw Harry Kane and Matt Doherty doing their interview after the game and how cut up they were. You saw Antonio Conte before the game with the tribute. You saw him at the end of the game going over to the fans as well. Very emotional day yesterday for Tottenham. And I just want to say once again, rest in peace to Ventroni, and may he rest in peace, and our thoughts go out to everyone connected to him, his family, his friends, and anyone that has crossed paths with him in life, because he seems to have touched many people in the right way. So big up to the Spurs fan base and to the team and to the management for conducting themselves in such an amazing way yesterday. And that's that. Hopefully we can kick on from here. That's our 5 takeaways. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the takeaways we've brought to you today. If we've missed anything out, put your takeaways in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.